Dredge is an excellent 2023 indie game that has turned into somewhat of a cult classic. The debut game from Black Salt Studio received solid reviews, including Metacritic scores in the 80s and a PlayStation Network rating of 4.69 out of 5. Dredge is a unique game blending both cozy gaming with somewhat horror Lovecraftian elements, where you fish, and yes, you dredge items from the ocean. This game really hooks you in. You play as a fisherman entering a small town where things are both inviting and somewhat off at the same time. There is an immediate mystery surrounding the game, story, and characters. They really nope, I'm not saying that again. They hook you in and they make you want to play more. For a game where the main gameplay is this, and this, somehow everything works. This is a perfect weekend game as it is relatively short, taking about 10 to 15 hours to beat and an additional 5 hours to 100% depending on how much you did in your initial playthrough. What sets this game apart is the unique vibe. The vibe is immediately present through colorful but simple graphics and a beautiful soundtrack containing emotional piano that demands your attention. The interesting juxtaposition of spooky and cozy sets the stage for a memorable and addicting game that you won't want to put down until you've explored everything this game has to offer. The main character crashes into a weird town, meeting bright and vibrant characters with simple requests. These requests are typically go out and fish and bring certain items back to them. And while this may sound repetitive, they usually shake things up in a good way that keeps the gameplay fresh. The general loop of this game is you catch fish and sell them. With your newly earned money, you can upgrade your ship to do different things like making it faster, give you more inventory space, unlock new rods that are more efficient and quicker, and that also allow you to catch different fish, as well as various boat perks like a boost, teleport, and other skills. The sense of progression accompanies the slowly revealed plot perfectly, creating a powerful formula that makes you want to keep playing. This game has a unique mechanic where if you are out at sea for too long, you get panicked. When panicked, weird things start to happen. Ghost ships appear, islands turn out to be mirages, and the scary things that go bump in the night start bumping.
What's that? Holy shit. Ah!
In order to combat the panic state, you need to sleep. This sets the pace and tempo for which you need to play the game. Go out, fish, dredge, collect, but it's important to understand the consequences of straying too far from safety and for too long. This game has 5 different areas that are all pretty unique to each other. They do share a common sense of progression. You typically go out, help someone by collecting fish, and move on to the next. There are side quests and random locations with treasure that encourage exploration, and you will encounter strange people along the way who often have requests like fish, and maybe you put them in your inventory and you have to deliver them. It's all pretty fun. Perhaps my only gripe with this game is I played it on console and the inventory management is not great. You have to manually drag things for the most part, and this gets very tedious. The mystery of this game reaches a satisfying conclusion once you collect all 5 relics after visiting all 5 islands. This game tells an interesting story that is carried by its atmosphere and surprisingly fun and addicting gameplay. This game feels both desolate and alive at the same time. All in all, I would give this game an 8.6 out of 10, and it's really only limited by the simplicity of the game mechanics. I strongly recommend this game for people who enjoy cozy games, horror games, indies, or are just looking for something different. As previously mentioned, this is the perfect weekend game or a palate cleanser. And for those who like to trophy and achievement hunt, this game also gets strong praise. It's worth noting there are no missable trophies. A huge part of this game is collecting fish. Each fish has a unique version that you need to collect if you're trying to 100% the game. This is by far the biggest grind in regards to achievements and trophies. And as for the tips, you do need to collect every variation of every fish. These are called aberrations. They're weird and messed up fish that are kind of rare. In order to complete certain shrines, you will need to catch aberrations, and if you're going for 100%, you need to fill out the Fishidex and catch all aberrations. This is by far the biggest tip and trick in this game. Once you unlock the atrophy skill, you can go up to a group of fish and press atrophy, and you're guaranteed at least one aberrated version of the fish. Catching all the fish at the end will look a lot like this, but surprisingly, I didn't mind it. I found it very satisfying to find all of the fish, and whenever you catch one, it plays this awesome music that's just a dopamine rush. Catching aberrated crabs can also be a pain, so be sure to set multiple traps out at once. You can rest to pass the time quickly, and I ended up just going through my traps and discarding the fish I didn't need in order to make room for the ones I did need. Very simple tip, but be sure to read your book, as these unlock passive skills. When exploring, you will find both shrines and mysterious figures that both request fish. I recommend trying to do these when you find them, as the mysterious figures will give you books, which, as previously mentioned, will give you passive upgrades, and the shrines will give you upgraded fishing tools. If you're going to 100% the game, you're going to need to do these anyway, so you might as well do them as soon as you can. If you're a scared baby pissy pants, you can turn off the spooky things from attacking you. I may have done this to speed up the plat once I beat the game. While 100%ing this game or collecting all the fish is a pretty big grind relative to the length of the game, I found it really fun and satisfying. I found a spreadsheet online and marked them off as I caught them, and this made it significantly easier than having to pull up your Fishidex to constantly check if you need to catch this fish or an aberrated version of it. Oh, and the DLC is also very good. The Pale Reach is a simple ice level that is similar to the main 5 islands and only takes about 1 to 2 hours to 100%. You explore an Antarctic section, get a few ship upgrades, catch new fish, and help some explorers out along the way. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it is more Dredge. On the other hand, the Iron Rig is a pretty beefy DLC, which took me between 4 and 5 hours to 100%. Here, you get a significant amount of ship upgrades and some new resources that you will have to farm. You revisit all the old islands after mishaps from the oil rig, and you're able to catch new prehistoric fish. Revisiting the islands after beating the game was actually very welcome, as everything was different enough to be interesting, but it was somehow comforting at the same time to revisit these previous islands. Both of the DLCs are worth your time, and if you're a fan of Dredge, you should check them out. All in all, this game took me 18 hours to beat the main game, get the platinum, and 100% both DLCs. This was platinum 271 for me, and it was a great time. Anyway, yeah, Dredge is a pretty awesome game where you fish. You just catch fish. The whole thing is fish. Anyway, yeah, you're...